Today on BladeHQ.com, we are taking a look at the HTM Kirby Lambert designed snap. Check it out. A little flipper knife. We're going to go over the specs on this one as well as compare it to the Benchmade 300, which is an axis lock flipper. There it is, as well as the Zero Tolerance 350. So spring assisted, different style, but I think they're a pretty good comparison if you take a look at both of them together. All three of them, I think they're all similar in some regards. So we'll compare those, and let's hit you up with the specs on this one. It is a flipper, like I mentioned, and let me just show you the detent on it before I start flipping. It is pretty solid detent. Not the most solid in the world, but it's not going to come out by any means. The reason I mentioned that, I have had some complaints directed toward me regarding how I flip knives out, and I'm going to try to not flick my wrist at this time and just flick it open. So there you go. Opens nicely. It's got a Maxx glide pivot bearing system in it, and it opens without that wrist flick. But isn't it so fun to flick the wrist? Come on, guys. Let's be honest, right? You can do it without the wrist flick, but it is a heck of a lot of fun to take that knife with that flipper and just open it like that. So anyway, 154 cm steel on the blade. Overall length on this one is 8 1/4 inches. 8 1/8 inches. And the blade length is 3.5 inches, like I mentioned, 154 cm steel. You've got Kirby Lambert's logo there, as well as the HTM Made in the USA logo. Ambidextrous thumb stud, easy left or right-handed opening. Let me see if I can get that flick off the thumb stud. Not quite, my hand kind of gets in the way there. Yeah, that flipper is hitting my finger on the backside, so if I try to thumb stud open it, not quite. But you may have bigger hands than I do, and that might work out just fine for you. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. You just kind of got to get that index finger out of the way because that flipper's coming past. So you've got multiple options as far as how you want to open it. Let's take a look real quick at the blade thickness on the spine of the blade. 0.152 inches on the blade side, right near the blade. We've got 0.046 inches. Let me find my blade grind tool here. If it's around, I've got way too much crap in this room now. Well, I don't see my, oh, there it is. There it is. Let's show you the blade grind here. Blade grind is 17.5, somewhere right in between 17.5 and 20 degrees. So just depending on if that interests you. Now, it is a liner lock, and I like the jimping on there. Catches nicely on the hand, and the lockup is about just under halfway on the lockup on it. Now, I tell you what, I love that wrist flick. I always miss it if I don't use the wrist flick, or if I'm not trying hard. But nice little liner lock on it. Now, I like this. The handle is aluminum. Check out that kind of grenade pattern on it. Just a cool look to it. Very cool look and feel to this knife. The pocket clip is not reversible at all, so it's removable, not reversible, tip up carry only. And here is a shot of this knife in my pocket, so you can get a feel for it. This knife is a little bit heavy, 5.8 ounces on this folder compared to, what have we got here? On the 300, Benchmade 300, it's 4.8 ounces and 5.8 ounces. Same with the ZT 350, 0350. Made in the USA, I mentioned that one. Handle thickness is 0.7 inches, so under an inch, but man, pretty darn thick there. 0.7. So let me show you it in comparison to a tactical clothespin. There it is, just kind of give you an idea of what it looks like, the size comparison. And there it is in my hand. So plenty of real estate. And I kind of like, I was just mentioning how thick that handle is, but I kind of like that in hand because it feels like I've got something to grip onto. There's kind of a swedge there on the spine of the blade that I didn't notice before. And let me show you quickly the knife in my hand with a glove on. Let me get my tactical glove on. and show you this. By the way, this one also comes in a stone wash version. There you see it with gloves on, and the operation with gloves on works just fine. Man, I love that wrist flick, guys. I love it. I'm just awful without the wrist flick. There it is. Bam. So it comes in a stone wash version. We didn't have that one in stock when I wanted to make this video, so check it out on the website. You guys know what stone wash looks like. So anyway, I think those are the most particulars on this one. So we already compared the weights of the ZT350 compared with the Lambert snap folder. I'll show you them in hand. I thought this was interesting because overall length, well, let's see, blade length on the 350 is 3 1/4 inches, where this one, the snap, is 3 1/2 inches. So slightly larger. This is mostly just to kind of give you a feel. If you have or own one of these knives, you can kind of know what you're getting into with the HTM snap designed by Kirby Lambert. So, and then show you the 350 up against it. Blade length on this one is right at 3 inches, so you're losing about 1/2 inch compared to this snap. Handle length, that's where things really start to kind of come together. 4 inches on the 300 from Benchmade, and the 4 1/2. So everything's about 1/2 inch, so you lose about 1 inch overall. Now this one, this 300, $120 knife from Benchmade. The 350 is a $140 knife from ZT, and the HTM is a $250 knife. So, very nice blade, very snappy. So, anyway, I think that's about it on this knife. If you have any questions on it and you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave them in the comments on the YouTube video. And be sure to buy this blade at bladehq.com. Buy it now.